In this video, we'll be taking a look at the new 1000 watt fully modular ATX 3.1 SFX power supply unit by Lian Li, the SP1000P. As a product offering from Lian Li's new SP lineup of high-performance SFX power supply units that are targeted at small form factor PC builds, these new PSUs feature 80 Plus Platinum certification, and we've got an 850 watt variant as well. Let's take a closer look at the SP1000P's specifications so as to see if it's any good. Now, the SP lineup of PSUs is available in both black and white colors, and for this review, Lian Li sent over the black variant of the SP1000P. Packaging wise, the PSU comes shipped in a rectangular box with Lian Li's signature black and blue colorway, with information on the features and specs of the PSU found on all sides of the box. Let's unbox the PSU to see what Lian Li's included with it. In terms of accessories, we get a thank you card right here. And this is accompanied by a user's manual. We also get a SFX to ATX bracket that allows you to use the SP1000P with a PC case that only supports ATX form factor PSUs, which is handy to have on hand. Moving on, we've got a power cord, as well as a bag of cable ties and PSU mounting screws. We've also got a bag of cable combs for the 24-pin ATX cable, the dual 8-pin EPS 12V power cables, and the 12V 2x6 graphics card power cable. Right here is a nice cloth bag that contains all of the SP1000P's modular cables. And finally, under this foam protector, we get the SP1000P power supply unit. Being a SFX form-factored PSU, it's cool how brands are managing to squeeze that much power into such a small package. Fit and finish feels pretty premium in my opinion, and the SP1000P measures in at 125mm by 63.5mm by 100mm. The 850 watt variant also has the same dimensions, in case you're wondering. In terms of aesthetics, the SP1000P has a pretty run-of-the-mill appearance for a power supply unit. We get your usual power cable connector, power switch, and ventilation openings on the front of the PSU. Over on the rear, we get your usual connectors for the various modular cables that the SP1000P comes with. On the left and right sides of the PSU, we get the Lian Li logo and model of PSU printed on, nothing out of the ordinary here. On the top panel of the PSU, we get detailed information on the electrical specs of the SP1000P, along with the usual safety notices and warnings. Over on the bottom panel, we catch a glimpse of the 92mm FDB cooling fan through these ventilation slats with a Lian Li logo right here to top things off. Moving on, I really like how Lian Li's included a SFX to ATX bracket that allows you to use this PSU in an ATX PC case, which again gives end users lots of flexibility in terms of how to deploy the SP series of PSUs in their respective PC builds. With that, let's have a look at the cables that come included with the SP1000P. As can be seen from the table on the screen, both the SP1000P and SP850P PSUs come with the same number and types of modular cables, where we've also got the respective lengths of these said modular cables. Some features to point out about the PSU cables. Lian Li's included an in-house, custom-molded connector design for the graphics card 12V 2x6 power cable. This is a good move, I guess, seeing how the standard design for the 12V 2x6 connectors gotten a really bad rep, with no shortage of stories involving melted connectors due to improper insertion into the corresponding power connectors of power-hungry graphics cards, such as those powered by high-end GPUs like the RTX 5090 and the RTX 4090. In that regard, the connectors have two colors, where the blue portion of the connector will fully disappear if the connector is properly inserted into the 12V high power connector of the graphics card, like so. If it's improperly inserted, you'll be able to see a tinge of blue, something like this, which indicates that the connector is not properly inserted. Another point to note, the PSU cables feature a flexible braided design that helps make cable management more effortless. As can be seen, the cables have a textured plastic finish. Also, we get cable combs for the 24-pin ATX power cable, the two 8-pin EPS 12V power cables, as well as for the 12V 2x6 graphics card power cable, to further help things along from an aesthetics and tidiness perspective. This being a SFX power supply unit for small form factor PC builds, I like how Lian Li's included a C14 connector to C13 connector power cable that has a built-in power switch. This cable will definitely come in handy for PC builds where the PSU is mounted within the PC case with no direct access to the power switch, where end users can simply toggle the power switch on this said cable to cut off power to their PC for, say, installation and maintenance purposes. Let's take a look at the specs of the SP lineup of PSUs. As can be seen on the screen, we get two power options to choose from, 850 watts and 1000 watts. The PSU is really compact in size, seeing as it's a SFX PSU after all, and as mentioned earlier, you can use this PSU in an ATX case with the included SFX to ATX mounting bracket. The SP lineup is ATX 3.1 compliant and conforms to the 80 Plus Platinum standard for up to 92% efficiency at 50% load. It also features a 92mm fluid dynamic bearing fan for cooling, where it comes with a fanless operation mode too. When the PSU is at or under 40% load, the cooling fan switches off to reduce noise levels, which is great. Warranty-wise, Lian Li's got owners of the SP lineup of PSUs covered with a 10-year warranty, and if we were to pop over to PPLP's website, that is, a certifying body for PC hardware components such as PSUs, they've given the SP1000P in particular a platinum rating, which is great for a peace of mind. Rounding off this section on PSU specs, it does seem like the SP lineup of PSUs could be based off an OEM design from a Chinese company called Guangdong ZY Power, as per this little line here in Korean that indicates them as the manufacturer. I can't be too sure as there doesn't seem to be much information on Guangdong ZY Power on the web. If by any chance you guys happen to know who this OEM is, do leave a note in the comment section. Right, so to see how it's like building a small form factor PC with the SP1000P PSU, I'll be installing it as part of a demo PC build that features a Lian Li A3 MATX Wood Edition case with a tempered glass side panel, alongside some Unifan CL wireless 120mm case fans, as well as a Lian Li HydroShift 2 LCDC 360CL AIO CPU cooler. Now installing the SP1000P inside of the A3 MATX case was pretty straightforward, all thanks to the really compact dimensions of the SP1000P, where as can be seen, I have it mounted right behind the front panel of the A3 case, with the intake fan facing outwards. Cable management was pretty easy given the flexible nature of the PSU's cables, which is further helped by the layout of the A3 MATX case, and I've also installed the included cable combs to help make the cables look just a little neater. All in all, the SP1000P was really easy to get set up in the A3 MATX case, and if anything, I'd say that this combination of parts is pretty sweet for anyone looking to build a high-end PC with a pretty small footprint. With the A3 MATX case, I even managed to install a 360mm AIO CPU cooler, that is, the Lian Li HydroShift 2 LCDC 360CL, and deck out the case with Lian Li's Unifan CL wireless case fans for lots of airflow. And with that, let's cue the music for the aesthetic reel featuring the completed demo build. To sum up, the Lian Li SP1000P SFX power supply unit seems to be pretty good given its features and specifications, where it'd be right at home in a high-end small form factor PC build for sure. I enjoyed using it as part of the demo build featuring Lian Li's A3 MATX PC case, and given the SP1000P's dimensions as well as the quality and flexibility of the included modular cables, you probably wouldn't have any issues using it in an even smaller case, perhaps a mini ITX case such as Lian Li's Q58 for instance. In terms of pricing, the SP1000P has a MSRP of around $185 while the 850W variant, that is, the SP850P, has a MSRP of around $165. With that, thank you so much for watching, hit the like button and get subscribed if you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys around the next time.